My name is Tanja Patt. I'm a qualified lawyer in Germany and I've passed the QLTS assessments on my first attempt. I have studied law in Germany and qualified there in 2006. After that I went to do an LLM in London at King's College, and yes, that's basically my legal education. After qualifying as a lawyer in Germany in 2006, I went to work for a while for a big law firm in South America, in Venezuela. And it was difficult there to qualify as a lawyer for me coming from Europe. So I went back to Europe. I decided to study an MBA course, and doing the MBA, combining that with the legal background I had, I decided to work in-house. So I took up a legal position as legal counsel for Red Bull. I wanted to take the QLTS basically as a fast route to become a solicitor. I could have set it out over 3 years, because if you're a registered European lawyer, you can automatically apply after 3 years. But it was important for me as in-house legal counsel to actually say, I have studied what is required from a solicitor. So it gave me the confidence to do the job better. I basically decided to do the preparation course because I didn't quite know what was expecting me. The QLTS scheme was quite new at the time and there was not much information out there. And I wanted somebody to give me some guidance what to study and in which time frame and what might expect me in the exams. They were very good. Especially the mock exams helped for the MCT, and also the mock interviews for the OSCE were very helpful. If you study at university, the basic difference I found is that you have much more of a tutoring approach in the UK, whereas in Germany you're much more left to yourself to get on with coursework and anything. You'd not always have a person to talk to if you run into trouble. So from that perspective, I always preferred studying law in the UK. The problem is basically that you have to remember case law, which you don't have under the civil law system. But I think the basic advice I can give is to be quite open-minded about it in the approach to a common law system. And because the different approaches in many cases lead to the same result, you just approach the subject differently. But a main advice I would give students on the QLTS, especially in preparation for the exams, would be to actually work with finding case law by online resources quite early on, because especially during the TLST there's not much time in finalizing the exam. So that was very helpful. For the MCT is basically the mock exam, because you did the same exams question as they would come up in the exam, but so you familiarized yourself before entering the exam. And for the OSCE, it was also the mock interviews, so you knew what was coming. That's a difficult one. Basically, I spent every free minute I had on studying, and I studied weekends, but I think in the end, you have to get the balance right as well. You need to get some time off as well, and it depends the time frame you have at hand. I did it all over a period of 6 to 7 months. If you have more time, you probably can allocate time more freely. For the OSCE and the TLST, in the end, I had 2 months to prepare, and that was quite tough. But it was doable, and I'm glad I did it in the short time frame. For the MCT, I felt very well prepared because I've done so many mock exams before. That really prepares you well. For the OSCE and the TLST, I wasn't quite sure when I went into the exam because what was expecting me, but once I was in the exam, I was actually quite calm because I knew I had prepared for what I needed to do. Yes, very. They were flexible. left me the flexibility that I needed. In the end, they are the one who will profit from this as well. I'm working as a legal counsel for Red Bull Technology, and basically I look after all commercial arrangements for the team and everything that entails. It has helped me that I feel more confident now working as in-house counsel in the UK, having the solicitor qualification. That has definitely helped me, because you always have to explain to people why you're a European lawyer, how you come to work here, how you work in English law. So that's definitely been very beneficial for me. Yes, I would speak to somebody who has actually taken the exams. That definitely helped. I think would help a lot. That's something I was missing when I was preparing for the exams. I would have loved to talk to somebody who's been through it. And it's really the best thing to do, and get your expectations right. What do you want to get done, in which time period, how busy work is, how willing you are to sacrifice your weekends. And I think that should all help with managing the timeline. Basically, I would recommend it to everybody who needs a little bit of guidance with the material and with the exams in general, because it's a lot of material you have to study, so you have to keep focused on your timeline and how to get through it. In terms of the timeline itself, I wouldn't recommend to start too early and not leave it too late. So doing it like in a 6 to 7 month period like I did was ideal for me, but in the end not everybody is the same. People might prefer to stretch it over a longer period, but you tend to forget stuff that you've studied a long time ago. So I think it's down to personal preferences in the end.